My beautiful stars. Reading time. Sense of urgency reading time. I'm hearing confession of love. A nice confession. But let's just confirm. Days. 1. That's what I'm feeling. So from now, you could have just got a confession from someone that gave you a bit of a shock, or within the next 24 hours. So let's just confirm. Oh my God. Magic. Every time. Okay. So we've got confession. For some of you, like I said, this could have just happened. Whenever I get these, it's a quick moving energy. All right. So we've got, but like I said, I'm feeling love bubble with it. I'm not seeing a negative confession, but maybe it is going to be a bit of a shock. All right. Confession. Yeah, you could have had challenges with this person. Like I said, I'm seeing a bit of a shocked face. Maybe it's going to be a little bit unexpected. It's that expect to hear from them soon. They'll be back, but making decisions, working on inner healing. So this is one of my collectives. You've had to go through a lot of healing with this person that's on your mind, that's about to come through or just came through with a confession. You could have had a child, you could have shared a pregnancy with this person. Maybe this was part of the challenge that you faced with this person. I do have a couple collectives and I'm hearing it that either you guys were planning children or just as you fell pregnant, this person kind of detached. Let it be you had a termination or unfortunately a miscarriage. Don't make these details fit. Okay, one more for your top row. Whoa, you got confession and communicate. So compromise, forgive, work it out. But I think those two tie in. Normally I say confession's different to communicate, but like I said, I feel this is more of a confession of love, a confession of feelings. So I actually think those two kind of tie in together. I feel the person on your mind is really wanting forgiveness here, and they're wanting to compromise. They're wanting to have a deep conversation, which is nice. Okay, let's confirm. Confession. What do they want to confess about? That's the other card I was seeing. They'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. You could really be kind of in the mode that really feeling like this is over. Maybe you're really hitting your brink. There's a couple of feelings I was getting with this. One, the shock. 2, literally you could really be thinking it's that closing the door card, that this person's emotionally unavailable. But again, letter of love. I have a feeling this is going to be a nice reading. All right, challenges. Whoa, challenges and cycles. That's kind of the perfect pairing. So another confirmation, you have had cycles with this person, but fate is on your side right now. Karma. Something ended, something's about to begin. You could be coming into the close of a cycle as well, a 2-year karmic cycle. I always say that's when your blessings start to unfold. Pregnancy. Okay, water sign, but emotions are about to be running high, that's for sure, whatever this conversation is. And also, it's funny because not the right times at the bottom. You guys shared a pregnancy in the past and it wasn't the right time. Maybe your finances weren't in check. Maybe you guys struggled with a few addictions. Again, don't make these details fit. There was something here, whatever had to do with pregnancy in the past. I don't think you guys were ever really in alignment for what you guys were planning at that time. Well, in this person's mind, definitely, but I will confirm both emotions here. But maybe this is part of the conversation that needs to be had. I don't think this confession is about this person getting someone pregnant. I want to make that clear. Like I said, I'm feeling a real love bubble energy here. I think this is more just what needs to be spoken about for the right collective. like alignment with values and past things. Communicate. Okay, make room for the new beginning that's on its way to you now. And you've had a lot of mental stress about this as well. There could be communication about health issues that you might not be aware of. Maybe that's another reason this person's kind of stayed away for a while. Let it be, you know, especially if there were addictions or actual like physical injuries or just health issues as well. There's clearly a lot this person wants to get off their chest. Okay, we're really going to break this down. First, I just want to confirm your connection, what you guys have gone through, and then we will get into a lot of detail here for you guys. I want to get these little, I always find this purple deck and this black deck, they're like the perfect pairing. All right, so we know what's around you guys, but let's see what your relationship embodied. Or do I want to get tarot? I've got these for a reason. We'll get a couple of these and get tarot. I'm going to sneeze. It's in my nose. Oh. All right, so sorry, it was in my nose. It went away. That was separation. That wanted. Well, we know that. Okay, so we've got the sword and rose here. So clarity, truth, revelation. I actually feel this just intuitively. I feel there was kind of a lack of certain truths here, especially if confession is coming out. But this connection made you both focus on yourself, self-worth, time to heal that challenges the cycles, shadow work, go through self-appreciation, self-value, worth. I think this has both been tested with both of you here, and maybe the things you've excused with one another. And you could have a tattoo of a sword and rose. What's that old American style? You know, like that traditional... Oh, it's coming to my mind. The Right Collective. That'll ring a bell. Wow. I think there's been multiple times that this person has wanted to shoot their arrow towards you and vice versa. Maybe you guys have tried to pick this up where it kind of left off, but unfortunately it just wasn't the right time for you guys. But you've always held on to faith that this love would return. But I'm staring at this surprise, especially with what I said before. I think this was always meant to come into alignment when it was a surprise, when you weren't sitting there craving and longing. And I feel there's a bit of a release in the Right Collective. But there has been hesitation when it comes to one another, especially if there was a lot of pain here. You got the challenges and the cycles card, so it hasn't been an easy separation. I'm not going to lie, this is smelling like one of my twinny collectives. Wow, there has been obsession and addiction. This addiction cards is more about obsession over one another, but I do think, especially with that gambling card that came out, you guys did have to face certain obstacles with certain addictive traits that you both embodied in your time away. But addictions could have really been an issue here in your initial connection, especially with that pregnancy, and this was a big obstacle here, and it was blocking you guys without you even knowing. I think you're just both as obsessed as one another. Oh God, this is that hovering over the phone, waiting for the text, the email. Like I said, especially with this being in the middle, I think you both have gone through phases of this, but this was meant to enter when there was a release and not so much dependence on each other coming into union per se, okay? But even right now, currently, I'm not gonna lie, I'm seeing that unsent message card. But let's just get 2 more. I'm surprised my twinny card didn't come out. Okay, so I think this is more what's about to happen. Something is about to come to light, and I think this will be able to help you guys heal through whatever you've been through. But again, the self-improvement is a big detail here, and I think it's both of you. I think you've both gone through self-improvement. I think you both have been making healthier choices in life. I think you have been focusing on self-care and just self-love. And if you haven't, it's not your collective, okay? But butterfly, relationship evolving to another one about healing and inner child healing as well. Let's just get one more. Oh, 2 more. Okay, through this heartbreak, I think you've tried to keep a positive mindset. I think it comes and goes in waves, but I do think this person's always held their cards close to their chest. I don't think they've been able to replace you, but for a long time they saw this as very risky. They weren't ready to take a chance here, especially if there was a lot of pain, okay? But let's get into it. All right. I want to get my Divine Truth cards first. I just want to see how this person's really feeling right now. Oh, we split it on communication and making you a priority. That's good. Okay. How's this person really feeling about this collective right now? Oh. That's good. It's funny that nervous card's at the bottom. I think this person is really nervous. How they've been avoiding this. Again, the feeling I'm getting from this person, I think you've always been a really heavy place in their heart. I feel this collective, you've always been on this person's mind, but they've been quite scared of their emotion. They're regretting their past actions and realizing letting you go was a huge mistake. And I think that's part of what they want to speak about, how they really have been avoiding this. And again, not that the feelings weren't there, that they just weren't ready for this connection, or they weren't ready to open up. I really want to be close to you, but I'm going to say was very emotionally avoidant, out of fear. And I believe that. I genuinely believe that. Twin flame, there it is. I do think this person thinks that you're their divine person. Again, sometimes I do these readings and I feel a little bit of an off-putting energy from the person connected to you, and I'm always free to tell you guys that sometimes the energy doesn't feel right, but I actually feel this person has a very genuine intention right now. I feel there's a lot of remorse. They know this is one in a lifetime type of love. You feel like home. You are the one. Why am I actually staring at this person's back? Like, I've never really noticed that. Maybe you're really, I know this sounds weird, it's coming to my mind. Maybe you really like this person's back. It came to my mind for a reason. They could be quite an athletic build. Can you see that photo? Or even, I'm keeping it PG, but if you get my drift, that could be like a memory. That kind of, you know what I'm saying, for the right collective. It just started raining. Can you hear that? Stop it. The gods are crying. All right, how's this person genuinely feeling? It's good that they're seeing you as their twin flame. It means they understand this journey. Planning something for you, truth. Again, this feels good. This person's energy feels good. You make me feel alive. I choose you without a doubt. My heart yearns for you, like every day. I've been preparing a love offer for you. You'll be shocked and surprised. And that was one of the messages at the start. You are going to be shocked. You're going to have that little face. I think when you have heard from this person, or whatever's happened through your separation, it's just been that masked version. And I talk about this all the time, but when true divines, when you start your separation, it's like that person you fell in love with, as soon as that veil's on, it's literally like they're sucked off to Mars. You're like, were you ever real? Like, you feel a bit used. And I feel this person is, for the first time in a very long time, you're going to see the version of them that you truly remember them to be, without that mask on them. It's nice. All right. I've got a pretty clean sweep here. So they could also bring up, as soon as I said we've got a clean sweep, some karmic attachments that they've had in their life that's held them back as well. We say karmic doesn't just have to be love, family, friends, work situations. I'm going to say I had karmic attachments that I couldn't let go. They were causing me chaos and drama. I believe that. It's normally a huge obstacle for twin separation, chasing. They're fantasizing. I fantasize about our future together, our home, our kids, vacations. I want it all with you. Makes sense with why expecting came up. I do think this person's wanting to start a family. So again, if you're in that age bracket that you can't have children, or this is something that you know isn't on the cards for you, this reading isn't for you, because part of the main conversation is something about pregnancy. Okay. Avoidant. Listen to that rain. Oh, wow. So they've been avoiding because of your psychic gifts, and true divines. You are your high priestess oracles. So I think this person thought that was kind of the only way to kind of keep their life under wraps. If they know you're very powerful, you're very gifted. Your intuition scares me. How much do you really know about me? But again, this is what they want to speak to you about. So how they don't want to be avoidant anymore. This is clearly part of the reason they were avoiding some things. Maybe they weren't ready to even face their truth. So how could they be truthful? Are my eyeballs on? No. Sorry, they look like they were on. Truthful with you. Oh my gosh! Underneath Twin Flame, you've got Divine Feminine. That's good. I always say, my universal truth, Twin Flames, that's how you initially meet. Trigger Central, broken people, trauma-filled people. Yes, you're activating into your divine frequency, your spiritual frequency, but you're still a broken bird. You both are. This time away in separation, it's to find your divine being. Tap into your divine light. So the fact that you got Twin Flame and then Divine Feminine, one, and you can feel it in them. They're coming into their compassion and their understanding. And if they're starting to accept your psychic abilities, them themselves activate in the mind's eye. So maybe they've got some things going on in their life that's really like they're seeing how powerful their intuition is. Okay, but towards you, you're a goddess who healed me and transformed me to my higher self. I love that. So they do know about this journey. Beautiful. So breaking out of the 3D, and maybe I always say this, and I say this for you guys, until you activate into the divine frequency, signs and synchronicities, information on divines, all of this stuff has been here for bloody centuries, right? But until you guys activate into it, you don't see it. You don't see the signs of the universe, the synchronicities. You're just stuck in your little 3D bubble. Okay, it's the same with divine information. So maybe for a long time this person, especially if you're online, and I find a lot of divines, you get online and you speak about the journey, you speak about divine union. Maybe for a long time they would hear you speak this stuff, but they just couldn't get it because they weren't active. And it would have just sounded so toot to them. And I tell this and I say this to you guys all the time, and you see it in your environment. People that aren't spiritually connected, they look at you like you're crazy. They literally put you in the toot basket. And unfortunately, this is why whoever didn't activate first, this is normally why they stay at an arm's distance, because they just don't understand your transformation. But there's something here. They're starting to activate out of this. So they're starting to understand. They get it. It's not sounding crazy to them anymore. Okay. And also how you broke free from your programming. Again, maybe at the start they didn't understand it, but it's like they're starting to believe the words that you speak, which is beautiful. Transformation, as we said it. I am making a conscious choice to transform into my higher self to be with you. We've got two here about them really connecting to their higher self, which is nice. This one's underneath planning. So they know it's not just words that's needed here. And I really do believe this person wants to get very deep with you. Karmic. Oh yeah, whatever karmic energy was in their life, it distorted them. It was keeping them blind, it was keeping them trapped, which means your person's going through obstacles and removal of people right now. My views on relationship were distorted from past experiences and advice. Okay, that's like a perfect pairing. And maybe as well, not saying this to upset you, but they could have, I'm hearing a couple things, because distorted karmic energy kind of boxed into an outlook that love should be X, Y, and Z. It's that Pisces energy, you know, the intentions that intentions. A love that's worth having shouldn't have these ups and downs and da-da-da. And I always say true divines will twin flames first. You're more triggering than karmics, right? It's kind of a bit like that false flame energy. So I think for so long, the advice they were getting and the outlook that they had on love should be like the movies. Okay, you know, that soulmate and blah, blah, blah. But now they're starting to realize, especially because they're activating and they're transforming and they're changing, they're getting that just because you guys had ups and downs, you weren't emotionally healed when you came into alignment. So for so long, even though they loved you so much, it was, this is toxic. This will never work long term. So I have to guard my heart here. But now that view is changing. And also, I was also hearing, and I'm going to say it, maybe for some of this collective, your person thought that they had connected to a soulmate kind of energy and quite quickly realized, it's not my person. Hearing both. Okay, one more. Okay, so this person's going over, leaving you on red. So that means this collective, you are one of my collectives. You put out an olive branch to this person, and unfortunately they didn't respond. I wasn't sure how to respond to your message, so I went quiet. So this is probably why they feel a little bit of guilt. Remember, you've got confession and this could have been a while. Because like I said, I think this is going to be a little bit unexpected. So literally your last point with this person, important detail, didn't go well. I want to get a dice. I'm going to get specific here. So it fell on the 4 and the 11. So I don't think it's only since April. I'm assuming, okay, take it as it fits. 4 weeks, 4 months, or 11 weeks, 11 months, or maybe the 4th of November, 4 to 11 months. I know that's not too specific, but I always say collectives, you work in waves, but like in colors. So but don't make it fit. They're there for a reason. So anywhere from 4 to 11 months. But I am also hearing weeks. But I do think it's been longer. Okay. Okay. Just before we keep breaking them down, especially because that 4 and 11's I just want to make sure this is specific for the right collective. So I just want to get tarot. I just want to see how you guys are feeling right now. Do we get the crow? Actually, I want to get the crow deck. I just want to see how you feel towards this person, because like I said, I'm sticking to, I think this collective's going to be a bit shocked, but let's just see what your emotion is for them, and then we'll get back into it. 4 to 11 is a little bit broad, isn't it? Let's be real. Okay. All right, main collective, how do you feel about this person that's wanting to confess and communicate towards you? Oh, you got the moon 1. Whenever I see my moon, star, and sun, like pairing, I always say cosmic. And you got the moon 1 after another. So just side note, I do think this collective, you see this is very cosmic. Signed, phone call. But I do think at the moment you're trapped in a little bit of an illusion here, which confirms about the time. I think for so long you've really had faith that this wish would come true for you and you would find peace and serenity with this person again. And I do think you've really tried to surrender to the universal flow of life and the universal flow of your journey. But I do think as you're watching this, you are stuck in a bit of an illusion. Okay, you could have a bit of anxiety, a bit of fear, a little bit of blocked intuition when it comes to this. Like I said at the start, I feel this collective, I was seeing that door energy. I just think you've kind of hit an emotional brink, maybe feeling a little bit empty, just feeling a void. You're feeling a void. I think for so long you believed how cosmic this was, but I don't think the right collective, it's really odd. It's like you just don't feel the same when it comes to the energy towards this person. I wouldn't even say lost hope, or it's just, I think you feel different. Okay, but there is moon energy over you right now, so there is some things, unfortunately, I think you're not seeing right or feeling just right. Okay, and Pisces, Aquarius energy. King of Swords could be air, double confirmation. So yeah, there's been a lot of pain. 5 of Swords, you could think that this person was quite, and again, this is how you're feeling right now. So because you're in this moon energy and you're feeling a void, I do think sometimes you go over the selfishness here and how chaotic this was. I feel, especially if it has been close to like 11 months, that 4-11 energy that came out. It's really hard to surrender and believe when it's been such a long time. And if this person really did present in that 5 of Swords energy and just never validated you for how you felt, and it's like they really presented like they didn't care who they were hurting in the process here, I think right now, especially because you're feeling a void within you and this connection, maybe you're going over more of the nitty-gritties, and if it really was a soul connection, or if this really was my person, I think you understand about how this journey really needs healing and you guys need emotional evolution. But I think this 5 of Swords energy just kind of puts you on the back foot a little bit. Okay, I'm seeing that. I don't think your person's a narcissist, but I'm seeing that narcissist card in that purple deck that they've presented very full of themselves, maybe even a little bit arrogant here. But I will say as well, 5 of Swords for me also means, like, I see it as being a very determined person, and it's unfortunate that when we lock in that 5 of Swords, sometimes we don't really see the energy around us that we may be affecting. But maybe as well you have moments of thinking how enduring and just determined you've been here to get to the end stop. That came to my mind. But also, Five of Swords can leave quite a bit of a hostile energy around us. The Hermit in reverse, so you are a little bit fearful right now. There's paranoia around you, but you don't know it. Okay. I want to say you're paralyzed in fear over this, but I think you have gone through quite a lonely period. I do think you feel powerlessness here, especially if they have presented as a Five of Swords. It's like you haven't been able to voice your needs and wants here, or those moments that you did have an opportunity through your cycles to voice your needs and wants, you still weren't completely in your self-love. You could have been my collective, one of my few collectives, that those moments this person did pop up, it was always, oh hey, how you going? And you just never voiced how much this was really affecting you. But in this current moment, as you're watching this, you do feel a powerlessness here. You just feel like there's no kind of way out of what you're feeling, especially when it comes to communicating with them. I don't feel this collective, you want to pick up your phone, or do you have moments of wishing you could speak to them? Yes, but like I doubt that would be the last thing on your mind. Okay, you want to learn from past mistakes here. You don't want to keep repeating the same thing. But you definitely feel out of balance right now. Like I said, I think it's that void energy, that emptiness. You could have even had a moment of recent even questioning if you were on this divine path. It's really funny because when I first saw them, I said, side note, cosmic love. But now that I'm like describing the energy I'm feeling, I think once upon a time, no one could tell you otherwise. But right now, I just think there's a lot of doubt in this collective. Moon. Holy moly. But I think you're seeing it right. Seven of Cups in reverse is focused. Okay, it's our claircognizance, it's our knowing, right? But that's under the moon. So again, whatever you think you're feeling is right. But also, I will say this. I do think this collective, you're very aware of your emotions, especially if you're a divine and you've been healing. You'd be very self-aware about emotional triggers and ups and downs. Maybe as well, side note, you're starting to realize I can't be in this Seven of Cups. It confuses me. It puts me in an illusion. It creates a lot of ups and downs. I'm going to focus on one cup at a time. I'm going to focus on the things I can control. This is out of my control. So why am I holding on to this? Why am I holding on to wishfulness? That came to my mind for a reason. Star. Definitely hasn't been a quick journey for this collective. This has taken its time, but I think for so long you've just wanted to talk. I think for so long you've just wanted to talk and soothe this situation, but you're starting to realize a conversation isn't going to soothe what's been done. And I think the right collective, you're starting to understand, even though it might not feel like it right now, you're really coming into that knowing that you create your own fulfillment and emotional center. And in the past, maybe that's all you did, want this person to come rushing in, but I think you're releasing that because you know it takes you out of star energy. You might feel like you're detaching. If anything, you're really just surrendering here. The right collective, I think you're really turning to up above right now. Okay, you've got... Not that you wouldn't always. I always say true divines, you're very spiritually connected to your team. You guys speak to them all day, every day, but... I feel there's a deeper bond right now that you're sharing with your spirit team through prayer or however you speak to them. You really are starting to trust about time, and not about this person, but just life in general. You're really focusing on just living in the moment, which is nice. I'm going to put that up right, especially with this. Oh my God, I read that wrong. That's the Seven of Swords. So I was saying they were selfish, and that's the Five of Cups. I read that wrong. For a reason. You could in this moment be thinking of a bit of their mask and their deception. I'm going to stick with what I first said. There's a reason I read that wrong. But again, I think let it be you focus on their Seven of Swords behavior or their Five of Swords behavior. You know, it puts you in a Five of Cups. And Five of Cups is actually beautiful because there's a silver lining in the situation that we're just not seeing in the moment because we're so focused on the spilt milk, we're forgetting the structure still behind us or the structure that's being created from those three spilt cups. And I think it's more just awareness. You're starting to understand the silver lining for why things had to happen. But of course you would probably have moments of facing misery, especially if you are feeling a void and you do feel like you've really endured and you've been on this path for a long time and there hasn't been movement. Okay, you do have the Hermit in reverse here. So I'm not saying you're going through complete emotional ease right now, but there's a different thought pattern coming over you when you do think about this connection. It's not how it was a few months ago. Okay. So you still do have fear sometimes and question if this really is a soul connection right now, right? I don't think you did so much in the past. You might have come in and out, you guys go in waves, but I think there was always this deep set belief that this was your person. But right now I think some of the paranoia and the fear and the powerlessness is not knowing for fact that this person's really connected to your soul or knowing that they're going to come back to you. Okay. Maybe you've just recently done, I'm hearing it for a reason, a birth chart reading or something, or tried to work out if you've had lifetimes with this person, if it's just a karmic bond, or I heard that specifically, don't make it fit. Oh, whoa. So you know when you think of this, it just blocks you. But you have had a lot of emotion bubbling under the surface for so long. I think now you've just become a little bit numb to it. Okay. It's not that you don't care. I think you're questioning the depth of this connection, this collective right now. I think for so long you believed it through your soul, but again, there's just a different energy shift. And I need to make it clear, it's not that they're not on your mind, but it's you're thinking of them differently when they do come over you. And if anything, it's a bit more emptiness, sadness. Maybe you even question how you could have excused this behavior for so long. Again, I just think it's a different outlook. Okay. All right, let's get back into them. All right. Should we see their perception of this connection? Let's see how they're seeing this connection right now, actually. I want to get my little... All right, so that was your perception on them. Let's get their perception on you. And then I want to see the universe's outlook. And then we'll get their true intention and what's coming. We'll roll the dice. I know this is coming in the next day, but we'll roll the dice and see how far ahead they want us to tap in future-wise. Okay, what's their perception on you? Okay. Oh. Six of Cups, that's what you're stressing about. That was your last card. Was it your last card or your second last card? Okay, so I do think they're seeing this as a soul connect. I think they're in a lot of nostalgia right now, and you can see it. There's a real sense of urgency towards you. I just think this person's really ready to clear the air and come to the forefront about what's been done. I think they've been going through a Five of Pentacles. I think they've been going through a lot of pain here when it comes to this, and I think when they look in on you, I don't think they've really, especially with Temperance here, I don't think this person views you as going through what they went through with this, okay? And I'm not saying that's the case, but Five of Pentacles in reverse, it is about that turning point and that big push and coming back into alignment. I get it, but I think it's more as well, I think this person has a bit of a scarcity that you're not as invested as you once were, okay? And let's be real, energetically, I can kind of feel that for this collective. I do think they want to balance this and moderate it and find calm and peace again. Have peace and resolve in the situation. But I do think they go over the time here and how long this has taken. But I'm not going to lie, I think they see you as quite a peaceful person, okay? And again, you might not feel that within, but I think they see you as very balanced in life. Magician, creator of universal magic. I believe that. I think you have a lot of willpower, a lot of determination, very action prone in life. But again, I think this is what they want to put towards you. It's funny because how you feel about this person, it's the powerlessness, it's their mask, it's their selfishness, it's where this person's kind of looking at you with admiration. And I do think they see you as a manifestation as well. This says problem solver, genius, alchemist, jack of all trades, magical. Maybe their trickster energy or some of their manipulation that they've put in here, they go over as well. I wouldn't say I think they see you as a trickster. Truth. Magician, high priestess, and temperance here. Magical. Empath, all-knowing, very connected spiritually. But I do think they see you as mysterious. I don't think they know where you are at emotionally in life, just how you don't know where they are. But you connect to unknown realms. You're a healer. And maybe some of the things they've kept in the dark as well, they want to illuminate, especially when I deviated with this trick. Oh my God, they did get Seven of Swords, so they are going nostalgia over their behavior. Their deceit, their betrayal, their deception, their trickery. That's them. That's not this collective. I think this is what they know they need to confess and talk to you about. I don't think this person was leading a double life. They could have been. This says double life. There's a reason I went for this deck, but some of their lies, their deceit, their sneakiness. So they know to come back and revisit this. They need to be very transparent about this. And you're going over that Seven of Swords. And it's funny because I mistook that Seven of Swords as a Five of Swords. I kept saying selfish. So everything happens for a reason. I think this person knows their Seven of Swords behavior was very selfish. We love that. So the turning point with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, Emperor energy, action. And they could see you, that you really thrive in your leadership quality, especially with this Magician card as well. I think you're a very strong collective. I think you'd be quite intimidating, especially if you are a High Priestess energy. She's so mysterious. So I do think that they want to lead the way with you, and I do think they want to soothe the chaos here. I think they want to put structure back into the mess here, especially with this big push, this turning point they're wanting to achieve. But I'm not going to lie, I think they see you thriving, okay? Money maker, conqueror, boss, leader, head of the household, wise. I think that's a bit of you, this collective. I ain't gonna... Oh, we love this. Oh, so your psychic ability. Queen of Cups underneath you. So even though you've got this, even though you present mysterious, she's my emotional, compassionate, kind-hearted queen. Okay? You've really balanced your emotion. You got 2 cards here of your psychic abilities. Mother psychic, empath, loyal, your loyalty. Family orientated. Maybe you are someone, it's more your ride or die for the people you love. So you know how some people will let people talk shit about their best friends or their family members. They just sit there and kind of don't. You are not that person. It's like if someone's don't make a fit. If someone's talking shit about someone that you really care about, it's like mama bear comes out, protector mode comes out. You just present as a very loyal. It's a memory for them, which means they don't have many loyal people around them, okay? Of people that talk shit or start fires or two-faced, very manipulative. I think they remember you for... You remind me of my collective. You speak up for the underdog. Okay, very nice. Magician. Oh, Sun! That's my yes card. So again, Master Manifestor, creator of universal magic, but manifestation coming in. And you, your happiness, your success, your high vibration. Another card of leader, just saying the truth, your self-love, you're an inspiration, and your creativity. Love that. So they're spying on you. But I feel... One, they're starting to believe this has always been divinely protected, but things needed to be sacrificed and healed. I do think they've watched. I do think they've learned from you. And this is so funny. I'm reading what this author has written here, but the sacrifices you had to make on your healing journey to become who you are, I think it's changing their perspective on you right now. They're starting to surrender to this. But also I will say... I do think sometimes this person thinks, because of this mysterious and in the dark, especially with this Page of Swords, I do think it's not just their behavior, but I think this person thinks sometimes you've checked in on them or you try and, get information on them as well. But you're very intelligent, you're very quick-witted. There's not much that can get past you. But this watching everything, I think it's more they know that you see everything. Remember, psychic energy came out with their avoidant energy. They have a fear over this. And I think for so long it's kept them stuck. I said that in that part. They weren't ready to face that about you. Because they had things they needed to overcome. And the moon, they were stuck in an illusion. That was your first card. But I think they're breaking free from this. Pisces could be important here because we got the High Priestess as well. And we did get Queen of Cups. All right. I just quickly want to see the universe, their perspective on your connection. Then we're going to get this person's true intention and what they want to say. And then we'll roll a dice and see what's on your future path with this person after this confession. I want to get my beautiful Intuit oracles. These are magic. All right, let's see how the universe sees your connection. Oh, 2 straight away. Whoa, 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 whoa. They are flying. Phoenix, we love that. Oh my, you got the man and divine feminine, divine masculine one after another, but you guys had to go through your shadow. You had to go through your devil energy, this twin flame journey. You had to remove the obstacles. Okay. This says it could have been a year since, I know 11 came out. I really feel this collective, it's been a while since you've heard from this person, but you guys needed to work on your discipline, your goals in life. Okay, you needed to get through that shadow that was holding you back your whole life. You literally got the pairing, one after another. 29, 28 could be important, and the Phoenix here. Death, rebirth, immortal love. Catalyst of your true heart's awakening. Both are rising up from the ashes. A total transformation, complete renewal through all the obstacles. Removing the obstacles. You're telepathically connected. You support each other, even though you're not in the same room as each other. And that's what your threads are for. You could dream a lot about one another as well, but you're very powerful. And you might not be trusting right now, but this journey, that's what it entails. Trust and surrender. 25 and 13 could be other important numbers. It's a very powerful top row. And it kind of sums up this journey perfectly, especially starting card, your shadow. Needed to be worked through, both of you. Those islands needed to be removed. So underneath the shadow, you guys needed to go in isolation. It needed to feel estranged. You needed to separate. You needed to work from loneliness to... You needed to trust in the universal protection around you, which you hadn't seen before this person. Very beautiful. Feminine energy. Oh, these cards flying. Trust that things will unfold. You needed to surrender to your impatience. You needed to learn how to wait. Surrender to time. You needed to tap into the opportunities of your life that you're avoiding. You needed to learn how to celebrate the light. You needed to grow more, create that warmth within, stand on your feet and become bold, expand. Find your positivity in all areas of your life. You had to build your strength. This is beautiful. Crescent moon could be important moon phase for the feminines connected to this. Masculine. Oh, they got two. They needed to learn on their communication skills. They needed to learn how to overcome barriers in their life, be more open to compromise, not be scared of satisfaction. I think the masculine connected to you, escapist. They needed to connect. They needed to unite with up above. They needed to become fierce. They needed to work on their unpredictability, but their power struggles, their possessiveness. They needed to improve their determination as well. I want one more for the masculine and one more for the feminine. Their desires. So I think it's more them that would fall short to a lot of magnetic desires in life shadow. I'm not saying you both didn't have certain addictive personality traits, but you can see here the field of influence around them. Okay, it's that devil in reverse energy, very easily influenced. They would be seduced over quite... think your person, it was very hard for them to stand on their own 2 feet in life. They would fall short to the desires and the magnetic pull of temptation. I had a lot to get through. Okay, one more, which makes me think this collective, this feminine energy, you've had a lot more life experience. One more for the feminine. Look at you. You just needed to trust that things would unfold. You're a bit of a control freak. The feminines. You got 2 about... believe that things are fluid, and then you had to also, things will unfold. You needed to learn patience and to wait. It wasn't your ego's timing, it was divine timing. Look at what they needed to get through. It's not easy to get through. Your artistic side, your mystic side, your enchanting being, activate your sensitivity again, your compassion. You had to dive deep, you had to heal. Find your romantic spark again, which makes me feel this specific collective reminds me a bit of yesterday's feminine. You had become quite cold in the heart, okay, which means you had a very hard life. You needed to activate all that again. Yours was about depth of emotion and growth and trusting in who you were meant to be. Your person, they had to break truly through the 3D and the desires that kept them back in life. Okay, and you both have always been deeply committed, but you just didn't see it because you weren't in the same room. Uncommon bonds, family issues, maybe both of you manifesting your deepest desires, all in for what you love, reawakening lost hope. The world! builder underneath the Phoenix. Truth. You had to go through all of this before your cycle closed in. Accomplishment, your duty, your responsibilities, both of you. Governing time and matter, structure, achievement, commitments, learn boundaries. Okay. Wholeness, fulfillment, completion. Sense of belonging with one another. Very nice. Oh, fireworks is there, not lead by passion. Everything has been developing and it is still developing. Air could be important as well. Air and water are important for this collective. And I guess we did get Capricorn as well. But obstacles, gathering information. Maybe you guys are both very logical as well and you just needed to let go of these things. But work through the coldness you both had. There it is, the stallion. Breaking free from the past. Learning how to tame your emotions as well. Driving force, freedom, desire. Last one. The swan card didn't come out, or the twinny card, but I guess you did get the feminine and masculine one after another, which is good because it means you've broken free from those twin flame shackles. Oh, new hope on the horizon, longevity, regal pride, clear vision, perspective of your past, present, future selves. Sun, that's the yes card in this, as we had that deviation about yes, exclamation point, energy, power, climax, fulfilled, pride, radiant, success, divine, masculine, daytime, victory, happy and warm. Very nice, perfect timing. Very nice. Okay. All right, I just want to see this person's true intention. Then we'll get message cards. True intention. So they're going over this separation right now. They're feeling the pain of it. Oh, I believe that. You just got the unicorn, magical and powerful. You're their magical muse. Them running away from this through the honeymoon phase, their insecurity and attachment issues, how they caused a rift in this connection. 28th of the 4th could be an important memory or birthday. I used to limit my goals and place myself in a box based on what others thought I was capable of, but since meeting you, and remember the you and the 3D, you broke them free from that. My views have expanded and I'm trying to dream big because of you. I know I deserve more. So they're inspired by you, which is beautiful. Oh, the left on red, double confirmation. They're going over how they ghosted you. 68, I'm sorry I ran, but I couldn't tell you how I felt because I didn't even know how I felt. So it was easier for me to walk away instead of having to try to explain myself. So I will say this makes sense. The theme of what they want to talk about is their actions here, which is actually very good. Wanting to take accountability. So a memory, they're going over a memory, and this is the timing now as well, right now. So you guys could be coming into a cycle here, but March 20th, May 5th, May 6th to June 20th. Okay, going over a specific memory, don't make it fit. Autumn, spring. I think some countries coming into now winter, summer. Okay. Firing through this separation, perfect card. That's beautiful. Our connection was very intense and confusing. I'm trying to understand that our underlying bond, undeniable bond. I say that 3 times. You were brought to me to teach me things and to bring awareness to my own existence. You both were for each other. Distance. Don't make this fit. So there's distance between you guys, especially emotionally distant. Even with the distance, I know we are never truly apart. We had an instant connection that can never be matched. I'll travel the world to get closer to you. Whoop, ghosted. That wanted to come out very... And age difference. Holy moly. So you've got some obstacles here and the insecurities. So you guys, maybe the age difference intimidated them a little bit here. I know there is a huge age gap between us and some may even object because of that. However, we are so similar in so many ways. This is something to do with the ghosting here. It's an important detail. Those two. June. Okay, so maybe there was someone in the background here, or they chose wrong. Okay. I'm going to say I was connected to a karmic partner due to responsibilities. I wanted to face my issues head on and work through these things before I returned. I know I'm going to say wasn't easy, but I was trying my best. I don't know about that. I think this is something they're going over, though. I do think this person chose wrong, and they know it. Let's get one more for that. Taurus. And you had Earth as well. It could have been an Earth sign. Or I took forever in making my mind up about our connection, the energy of this, because there was someone here. If this collective knows this, but this is also what kept them away here. Instead of speaking to, I'd run away and indulge in unnecessary pleasures in order to ignore my feelings. Maybe it was a situationship or a toxic kind of situation there. But again, this is what they want to speak to you about. So that might be a bit of a shock hearing that as well. Okay. Let's get message cards. I'm on the fence if I should get tarot now. Anyway, let's see how these message cards go. You visit me, there is something about dreams here, especially of recent, because of that elephant card. You visit me in my dreams, I can't escape the thoughts of you, and I need to feel your body on mine. Your love has changed me, and I can never go back to the way things were in the past. That's good. Words could never express how much love, appreciation, and respect that I have for you. That's nice. I think they might actually say something like this to you. Like words just, they haven't known what words to say. Words to them just weren't enough. I want a whole new life with you, and I will leave everything. That's not good. Every time I see that card, I say that's not good. I'll leave everything behind in the process for our union. You don't want this person to feel like choosing you means they have to remove everything, because they'll harbor resentment for you. So you don't want to put them in that kind of position, okay? I always say if they're going through conflict or obstacles, don't add fuel to the fire. Be there to support. But if it's family members or childhood friends, you don't want them to believe that they have to... It's right, collective, this will make sense. I always say what caused obstacles in the past needs to be removed, but family and childhood friends, they always come back around. So that's something that you just don't want to add more grievance to. I'm not who you think I am. I hide who I really am from you. And you both know it. You both got 7 of Swords. I hide who I really am from you. And it's time for me to take my mask off and reveal my true identity. I believe that's genuine. Divine timing is and has, I'm going to say, been at play. We've needed to wait for our union and time to heal and evolve. This is that visiting in their dreams. I think they're starting to understand about divine timing, which is nice. Your love has changed me. I am being divinely guided towards you. We are made for one another, and now I believe that truth. That's the powerful transition that's happening. I felt that in those other cards. If I asked you to marry me, so they've got, and you can see that in the other decks, they really do want to start a family and everything with you. Would you say yes? I want you to be mine and only mine forever. I'm going to tell you something. We've nearly got a clean sweep. You don't have one caution card that's come out. Hope I didn't jinx it, but you don't have one caution card here. I'm trying to figure out how energy really works. I'm working on manifesting my own reality. They could be. I find masculines go down the path of manifestation. All right, lucky last. Is it a... No, you didn't get one caution card. The yellow cards are the... You didn't get one. So them wanting to take their mask off. I have clarity on my higher purpose and our connection is a part of that. I want to be in union just as bad as you do, but timing is key. I believe that. There is something here that I actually feel, like I said, genuine, deep, but there's a reason. Just as I went to get these, I'm on the fence if I should get future of this. I'll roll the dice. If a 6 comes out, I meant to leave it. You guys just need to overcome this together. That was 8 of coins. 4. All right, let's go your month ahead. But as soon as, if the High Priestess comes out, I'm stopping. I'm not meant to, for some reason I'm on the fence. I think this is something you two just need to overcome, and you need to trust in what's being spoken and not rely on what the cards are saying for you, but trust in the feeling you feel. Oh my God. So we've just got 9 of Cups, Lovers, mindfulness. Okay, remember that 9 of Cups journey. It takes a bloody lot of effort to get to that 9 of Cups point. We're sitting in stillness, self-love, self-respect. We've gone through a lot of emotion to be able to fill up those cups the right way. So yes, this is a card of, you know, wishes coming true. I do think this can be something very powerful, but you guys need mindfulness. I do think your codependence might get a little bit activated here with one another, especially if there's distance here. I think you need honest, transparent communication. I always say, any point you guys get lessons with emotion, and I always say that card for me is that, my precious, just be mindful of each other's needs and wants. Okay. Don't clip each other's wings. Hierophant energy, that's my marriage card. Foundation, my spiritual master. I do think this person's going to come in powerfully, but I do think you guys have different... I do think they're going to be a spiritual equal of yours, but I think you guys still have different kind of belief systems, and don't box yourself into one outlook as well. I do think faith will be restored here, but I think you guys can learn from one another as well. Okay. Oh my God, Wheel of... How good is this spread? The only card I'm a little bit worried about is this Four of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune, trust in your wheel. Fate, karma. And you got the cycles before. Destiny unfolding here. Okay, so again, remember how long and how hard it's taken and been to get to this 9 of Cups. I think your wands are about to finally drop, but it has been a difficult journey, and I think you guys need to be deep about this with one another. Okay, it's time to drop the burdens, and I always say with Divine, if you can't let the past go, you're not going to start fresh. And if you guys are just harping up and holding on to the past and you keep bringing the past up, you're not going to get anywhere. So I think you both need to make a decision once you've had the conversation that needs to be had. It's kind of leaving the past in the past. If you're choosing to be with this person, if every time you have conflict, you bring up certain things that have happened in your previous union, it's not going to work here. You guys have both transformed. Again, I can't see how this would be getting released this way if you were going to do that. But just remember that, okay? That'll cause destruction. New journey, starting again, fresh, new people. This Lovers, getting to know each other again, reintroduce yourselves, okay? Have the important conversation, and if you choose to move on from that together, that's something you guys need to agree on, to move on from that and get to know each other again, okay? This is where you need to be mindful. Equal give and take. Both need to make the effort. No one putting themselves in an ivory tower. Okay, both feeling valued. And codependence, clipping each other's wings, is going to cause resentment, especially if this was something in the past. You guys lacked mindfulness for each other's needs and wants. Okay? It's not just about this person putting in all this effort. You need to put effort towards this person as well. True divine, and not just divines, but when there's certain conflicts or separate, there's always two parties at fault. Just remember that. Okay? Oh. Perfect. Hierophant, Ace of Pentacles. That's good. Very good. It was worth it. Okay, so this is where the wheel's at. So there is going to be something that... Okay, I think this collective's lesson, this is why it's going to take a while. There is something here about your codependence is going to be activated a little bit. I do think this collective, there is going to be fear in you that... if this person isn't completely attentive, and even you to them, that this is all going to happen again. Okay, I do think you're going to get a new start with this Ten of Wands and this Ten of Swords. I think you're finally going to get the closure and the answers you need to soothe this. But again, don't try and rush anything. If you're feeling anxious from what you're feeling or hearing, voice it. But I do think there's going to be a few emotional tests throughout this month of thinking, is this going to happen again? But the thing is, you're not seeing the situation right. Okay, it's a test from up above to see how far you've come. And this is why I was saying, get to know each other again. Don't rush it. It's like if you were just starting to date someone, you wouldn't rush it. So, well, hopefully you wouldn't. I guess some people do. But your test here, codependent, mindfulness, you both need to be transparent and vulnerable, and you are going to have tests here thinking this might happen again, but it's all in your mind, okay? And it shows you haven't completely overcome what's happened, so they're the moments you have to talk about it, and you need to voice this. Just remember, when you open up vulnerabilities in relationships, this is meant to strengthen your foundation and bond. The right kind of, they nurture your vulnerabilities and make you feel safe in your vulnerabilities. They don't hold your vulnerabilities against you. So if you're voicing these things, more than likely this person's feeling the same, but this is where you guys can start strengthening and building a really firm foundation for showing support for one another and easing this emotion out of one another. Don't just harbor and sit and be like, oh, I don't want to be needy. I don't want to be this. What if it happens? Talk. Okay. You're going to have some tests with this. Yes, don't be codependent. It's not about having to live in each other's pockets. But even, you know, if you are seeing your codependency is getting activated because maybe, you know, messages aren't as flowing or you're not seeing each other, voice it. Say it. I can feel my codependency is getting activated. I'm starting to feel a little bit unsafe. Talk about it. And if you don't even feel safe enough to voice this to this person, sign enough. You're not ready. You're not ready for any love. Okay, if you have more fear in being vulnerable for their sake, that means you're still more concerned about how they're perceiving the whole situation than yourself. Just remember, love's meant to make us feel safe. Okay. All right. Oh. Windfall. So it is going to come in quick. My advice, don't rush though. Fiery climax approaches. You got the fiery climax completion here. Emotions running high. Black cat. I always see my little Salem, or you could have just bought a cat. Or ancient Egypt. Something to do with cats here. B. E. You could have just seen some B's. D and S. Did that just spell B-E-D? I wouldn't be doing that straight away. Remember, sacred. But it's not a lost cause. St. Jude. And then you got the normal you got the other one as well. I always see donuts when I see this. But also you could be seeing 000 a lot. Or there could be two. Oh, there's another initial here. J. I didn't even see that. And a love heart. There could be another power. There could be a couple conversations that need to be had here. Okay. Might take some time to, but anyway, golden elixir, you're calling to one another. Peach, you could have a really nice booty, or this person could. Or you could be eating a peach. You could love peaches. Protect your home, protect yourself, and then remember the world is your oyster. Pearls. They could be important as well. or the name pearl. Why did I just see the Little Mermaid then? I don't know why. I was hearing that. That's what I was hearing when I said pearl, like the name pearl. 555. Oh, truth. Big transformation coming here. We're seeing that a lot as well. So 555. 5 portal, 25th of the 5th, 25th of the 4th, 11th of the 3rd, 3rd of the 11th, 8 by itself, karma, abundance, karmic clearing coming. Oh, and 3, expansion, Empress energy. 25 again, or 2nd of the 5th, 5th of the 2nd, 25th of the 11th, 15th of the 11th, 18th of the 11th, 20th of the 7th. All right, my loves, I love you guys. And 10, completion. All right, have a beautiful evening. And lots of love.